Ooh, another one of them days. Alright. Yesterday we had a long stream playing full board. We didn't get around to our regularly scheduled game, so we're running this one today. Picking up where we left off. Seeing if we remember any of it, because it's been a whole week. Alright. October 19, 3:27 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. Hmm? Maya! So, what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? It's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So, under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. Alright, talk about what's going on. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the steel samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is. What? Was Maya always this excitable? But she's been Mia the whole day and didn't see any of it, I guess. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia is here. So, no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP? WP. Hours. Right. Alright. Go check out the things. Detention Center. Talk to WP. October 19. Detention Center. Visitor's Room. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Well, there's not really anything I could do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Alright. Tell me about Vasquez. Could you tell me more about Ms. Vasquez? Oh, the producer. She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. Genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we got nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manila?
Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name is Sal Manella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says, jump, he asks, hi, and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping.
I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh. Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global.
How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer.
He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Ms. Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago? Huh. Okay, let's, check out the studio then and see if we can figure out what's going on. October 19, Global Studios, main gate.
The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think your guard's down.
Yeah?
I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station, if we wanted.
You eat, you die.
She's alive!
Okay. Tell me about the people. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer.
Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way.
She seems bitter.
Do you not like the producer?
Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Okay. Can I ask you about Sal Manella, the director?
Sal? He's soft, a pushover. Does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it.
Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt?
That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick?
No, it doesn't. Sure it doesn't. About Mr. Hammer.
I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling a criminal a thief. I won't forget this.
Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time.
Listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low, it's impossible.
Okay. Do I have anything to show her that would suggest that? I don't think she cares. Alright. See if we can find more evidence. October 19, Global Studios, employee area.
I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming, just one time.
This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later.
I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if there are any other clues lying around.
Arrgh! No touching!
Eek!
Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you.
Didn't mean... I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatique at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique, indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal, traces thereof. Alright. Tell me about the things. The plate. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills. How? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there are traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Hey Oreo, how y'all doing? Well, Detective Gumshoe? What are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. Well, the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Big plate added to the court record. Down in the employee area. On it are traces of sleeping pills and a large boom. Right, investigation. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers. And some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing, anyway? Mr. Edgeworth's out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups? Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yup, sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right! Hey, sleeping pill bottle added to court record. Found on the table in the employee area bears Jack Hammer's fingerprints. Okay. Do I have anything to show you? I do not. Okay. Look at things. That grate still lying here. Ah, they've seen wisdom at last. They know if they fixed it, I'd just kick it off again. That poor assistant. The grate that used to cover the drain. It's a little bent. Don't think it would fit if I tried to put it back on. There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like a castle. Probably Neo Old Tokyo Castle. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point? Makes it a lot easier to go up hills. Don't people cycle to get exercise? Tell me more about that. The remains of the employees' lunch are scattered around. Everyone is probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates, minus a steak. Okay. All these shenanigans. That must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the field equipment. Here. Let's see. Cola, candy, chips, gum. Ha! It's so normal. As before... a window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted, so I can't see inside. It's not the reason that he had to be drugged, because you can't see who's in there. There's a sign on the dressing room door. Will Powers. Must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. I mean, it's not a very ornate sign. You love Phoenix Wright? Oh, good to hear. The door to the dressing room, it's not locked. Alright. See if there's anything new in there. Hey, buttons. Not those kind of options. There we go. Been too long since I played this game. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... But what? Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But... this week is the last episode of Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume, too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true, then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Is that trailer part of the film set, then? What do you mean, the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. No! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Was bark. What? Didn't I have more of a useful item? What? Sure, I'm gonna give evidence showing that they're still going to have the... What?
Here, the murder weapon.
Take that!
What's this?
This is why you can't stop the Steel Samurai.
Sorry, I don't understand. Neither do I, Nick.
Funny that, I don't either. Oops, let's try that again. I mean, it was obvious. They wouldn't have duct taped the steel back together if they weren't going to keep using it. Alright. My path to glory. The digital camera. I don't know what they want to see.
Take that!
And this is...
A fan collected all these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone.
You're right. Okay. What can I do?
Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me, what is it that Global Studios is so intent on hiding? Tell me about this accident 5 years ago.
Okay.
Would you tell us what happened 5 years ago?
Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? Oh, it was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up.
And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer.
And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldback. She was here at the studios back then, you know.
Thanks, we'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Alright. I don't know if there's anything more to examine here, but... looks like someone was sleeping here.
Oh, sorry. I haven't cleaned up there yet.
There's a box for snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. It's completely empty. I can feel Maya's eyes burning into the back of my neck.
Bag.
It's Power's bag.
I put all of WP's personal belongings in there. He'll be able to come pick them up, right?
I'm sure he'll come, yes. There's an array of cosmetics here. This is the wig used in Samurai Boogie Woogie.
Wow, you remembered, Nick?
Thanks to you. They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I always check my hairdo when I look in the mirror. Not quite as spiky as usual, I see. There are some regular suits in among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes. Alright. I think that's all we're gonna get out of this, probably. Alright. Move. Here. See if Miss Oldbag will talk to us.